Join us as we journey through the remarkable life of Louis-Nicolas Davout, a figure of military prowess and unwavering loyalty. Known as the Iron Marshal, Davout's life story is a testament to his strategic brilliance and steadfast dedication in the service of Napoleon Bonaparte. From his noble beginnings to his rise as one of the most respected marshals of the empire, his story is a fascinating chapter in the annals of military history. Louis-Nicolas Davout was born on May 10, 1770, in the quaint village of Anou, France. The eldest son in a family with a military background, Davout was destined for a life in the army. His education at the military academy in Brienne-le-Château, where he crossed paths with the young Napoleon, and later at the prestigious École Militaire in Paris, laid the foundation for his future military exploits. His education was not just about warfare tactics, but also about understanding the broader strategic implications of military campaigns, a skill that would later define his career. Graduating in 1788, he commenced his military career with the Royal Champagne Cavalry Regiment, marking the beginning of a distinguished journey in the French military. The outbreak of the French Revolution opened new avenues for Davout. The Revolutionary Wars was a transformative period for French military tactics, a time when Davout's innovative strategies began to surface. His ability to adapt to rapidly changing battlefields was evident in his early campaigns, setting him apart from his contemporaries. His early military engagements, particularly in the 1792 campaign and at the Battle of Neerwinden, showcased his tactical acumen and leadership skills. Despite a temporary setback due to his noble lineage, Davout's career rebounded with vigor, especially during the Egyptian expedition led by Napoleon. His performance in these early years was a clear indication of the exceptional military leader he was to become. The ascension of Napoleon as emperor brought Davout's skills into the limelight. Appointed as one of the original marshals of the empire in 1804, despite being the youngest and least experienced, Davout quickly proved his mettle. As commander of the Third Corps of the Grande Armée, Davout rendered his greatest services. At the Battle of Austerlitz, following a forced march of 48 hours to fall on the left flank of the Russian army, the Third Corps bore the brunt of the Allies' attack. In the subsequent War of the Fourth Coalition, Davout, with a single corps, with the intention to fall on the Prussian left wing, fought and won the Battle of Auerstedt against the main Prussian army under the Duke of Brunswick, which had more than twice as many soldiers at its disposal, more than 63,000 to Davout's 28,000. His actions in this battle earned him the nickname Iron Marshal. His unwavering loyalty to Napoleon was evident in various roles, from governing the Duchy of Warsaw to leading the First Corps during the ill-fated Russian campaign. Davout added to his renown in the battles of Eylau and Friedland. Napoleon left him as Governor-General of the newly created Duchy of Warsaw, following the treaties of Tilsit in 1807, and the next year awarded him with the title of Duke of Auerstedt. During the War of the Fifth Coalition in 1809, Davout took part in the Battle of Eckmühl and also distinguished himself in the Battle of Wagram, where he commanded the right wing. He was later made Prince of Eckmühl following the campaign. In 1810, Davout traveled to Compiègne with Napoleon to collect the 18-year-old bride Marie-Louise of Austria. Davout's role as the commander during the Siege of Hamburg showcased his military discipline and strategic foresight. However, his tenure was marked by controversy due to the harsh measures he employed. His strict enforcement of discipline and order, while effective, drew criticism for its severity. Davout's military character has been interpreted as cruel, and he had to defend himself against many attacks upon his conduct. He was a stern disciplinarian who exacted rigid and precise obedience from his troops, and consequently his corps was more trustworthy and exact in the performance of its duty than any other. For example, Davout forbade his troops from plundering enemy villages, a policy he would enforce by the use of the death penalty. Thus, in the early days of the Grande Armée, the Third Corps tended to be entrusted with the most difficult work. He was regarded by his contemporaries as one of the ablest of Napoleon's marshals. Despite the challenges, Davout's commitment to his duty remained unshaken, even as the Napoleonic era drew to a close. Upon the first restoration of the Bourbon monarchy, he retired into private life, openly displaying his hostility to the Bourbons, and when Napoleon returned from Elba, Davout rejoined him. Appointed Minister of War, he reorganized the French army insofar as time permitted, and he was so indispensable to the War Department that Napoleon kept him in Paris during the Waterloo campaign. To what degree his skill and bravery would have altered the fortunes of the campaign of 1815 can only be surmised, but Napoleon has been criticized for his failure to avail himself in the field of the services of the best general he then possessed. Davout directed the gallant but hopeless defense of Paris after the Battle of Waterloo. He received the command of the army assembled under the walls of Paris and would have fought had he not received the order of the provisional government to negotiate with the enemy. After Napoleon's fall, Davout faced initial ostracism from the Bourbon monarchy. However, his reputation and service eventually led to a reconciliation, and he regained his titles and rank. His later life was quieter, marked by a brief tenure as the mayor of Savigny-sur-Orge. Louis-Nicolas Davout passed away on June 1, 1823, in Paris. His final resting place in Père-Lachaise Cemetery is a silent homage to a life spent in the service of France. His legacy as a military commander, marked by strategic brilliance and an iron will, continues to be celebrated and studied by historians and military enthusiasts alike. The life of Marshal Louis-Nicolas Davout is a narrative of resilience, strategic genius, and unwavering loyalty. His contributions during the Napoleonic Wars have cemented his place as one of the most respected military figures in history. His story is not just about battles and tactics, it's about the spirit of a soldier who navigated the complexities of a turbulent era with honor and dedication. And so, this is Davout, the studious, well-trained, well-refined commander that demanded as much from his men as he demanded himself. For this, he was known as the Iron Marshal. Davout wouldn't see the glory of Ney or Murat. He wouldn't live in infamy like Marmont or Masséna. He would be recognized for his skill and ability to ensure the training of his men. Effectively, Davout was the ideal of the French army in the era of Napoleon.